Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ron Verhage, President of Seriously Smart Technologies, and today our webinar is on the subject of using our Q9 and S8 stress management systems to support and improve chronic pain. Now, if you are new to stress management biofeedback, I'll give you a brief description of what it is and how it works. Our stress management systems operate in a gentle yet simple way. The client is connected to a biofeedback device via electrode bands that are placed around the wrists, the ankles, and the forehead. The device is connected to a laptop, and through the software, it sends approximately 11,000 frequencies into the body. The software analyzes the body's feedback and displays the results on our laptop screen so we can determine the potential causes of the client's stress. And then we work to retrain the body's stress response using those 11,000 frequencies. I'll mention that stress management biofeedback does not diagnose, treat, cure, or heal. We do not assess and we do not prescribe. We strictly detect stress and then work to reduce stress. So let's begin this discussion about chronic pain and how we can support and improve the wellness of our clients with our Q9 and S8 stress management system. I'll introduce you to a biofeedback diplomate, our resident trainer here at SST, Fernando Crespo O'Neill. Fernando, you have our attention.
Well, thank you, everybody. Let's get into it. So what is chronic pain? Chronic pain is pain that lasts for over 3 months. You may feel the pain all the time, or it may come and go. It can happen anywhere in your body and has countless causes. Chronic pain is a very common condition and one of the most common reasons why people seek medical care. In 2021, about 20.9% of U.S. adults experienced chronic pain, and that's according to a study from the United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Pain is your body's way of telling you that something's wrong, like an alarm. But when that alarm continues to go off for months or years, it can drown out many aspects of life that bring you joy. And it can take quite a toll on your physical, mental, and emotional health. Because of this, it is essential to seek help for chronic pain. Together, you and your healthcare provider can develop a plan to help dampen chronic pain. So, what are some common types of chronic pain? Chronic pain can come in many different forms and occur across your body. It's the main symptom of a wide range of injuries, infections, and diseases. Common types of chronic pain include arthritis or joint pain, like knee pain, back pain, especially lower back pain, cancer pain, fibromyalgia, headaches, including migraines, neck pain, neuropathic or nerve pain. So, what does chronic pain feel like? Chronic pain symptoms vary from person to person, but the defining characteristic of chronic pain is that it lasts for more than 3 months. You may describe the pain as aching, burning, shooting, squeezing, stiffness, stinging, or throbbing. So, can chronic pain lead to Chronic pain often leads to other symptoms and conditions, including generalized anxiety disorder, major depressive disorder, fatigue or feeling overly tired most of the time, insomnia or trouble falling asleep, irritability or mood swings. So, in conclusion, chronic pain lasts months or years and can affect any part of your body. It interferes with daily life and can lead to depression and anxiety. The first step in chronic pain management is to find and treat the cause. When that isn't possible, the most effective approach is a combination of medications, therapies, and lifestyle changes. So, with all that information in view, let's go into the panels that are in the software that can be used for chronic pain support. I would say most of us know someone that deals with chronic pain. What's very neat is that the Mayo Clinic also recommends biofeedback for chronic pain support. Oh my goodness, excuse me. So just a disclaimer, just because our software can offer chronic pain support does not imply or guarantee chronic pain support success. Well, let's get into the panels. Right off the bat, we have the main matrix. You can do a search for chronic pain or whatever is appropriate. Then we can work on the results. While those results are up, if you have the premium version of the current software, there is the premium customs app builder where we could drag over those results into the box. And we have a free training on how to use this premium feature. Excuse me. Staying in the main matrix, we can go to EPR enhancements and click on Simulate Reaction Duplicate Remedy, where in the right white box, we can put kind of a series of commands. For example, invert chronic pain, and then press start until it rectifies. Clicking on EPR enhancements, also, we can select Patient Superconscious Reduction Panel, and you can search chronic pain and press start. Then you can click Treat All to train the report that's shown. You can also screenshot this report and go over the 4 sections with your client. Now, these 4 sections that you see here discuss the cause of their wellness concern, the cure for their wellness concern, the blockage, and the symptoms. As certified stress reduction specialists, we can coach our clients on ways to improve their wellness. Right there in the main matrix, this is the new premium situation hold box where you can type in chronic pain, press enter on your keyboard, and it'll give you a real-time suggestion for supporting your client in another panel like biofeedback systemic relaxation. We have a free training on how to use this new premium function. Also in the matrix, we have the autofocus apps. There on the left is the original autofocus app box. And then there on the right, we have the new premium autofocus app builder where you can select multiple choices to support chronic pain and then press start. So the difference is with the original one there on the right, which is included with the free version and the premium version, you can only do one selection at a time. Where with the premium autofocus app builder, you can do a whole series of choices and then let them run. We have a free training on how to use this premium feature. Now, leaving the main matrix, we can head over to the Allersodes panel. And one reason why our clients may be experiencing chronic pain is because of exposure to something that is causing an inflammation response. And we can support that here. Next, we can head over to the acupoints panels. And there are many pain support points, but here is an obvious one with there on the right, the bladder 11_35. Isn't it great that we have one point to support so much of the spine? Then we have the acupoints where we have a lot of pain support choices that are on the cheat sheet that is included with the Seriously Smart Session training webinar. And here's one of the choices we see for low back pain. Now we can head on over to the biofeedback systemic relaxation panel. You might also hear me call this BSR. And we have a lot of great choices throughout this panel. We see 2 right there: reduce stress in nerves and reduce stress in spine. Then going to the others column, which is relaxation. Down there at the bottom, the treat innate intelligence, that was the recommendation from the premium feature situation hold box. But then we see others there like the release psychic pain and restore myelin of nerves. So what's up with this extra picture on the right? Well, that's a picture from our body viewer program. And we see in this instance 4 black orbs surrounding the body. And that can be indicative of our client being in other fields, they might call that where they're under psychic attack or someone's wishing them ill. And in this BSR panel, we can actually help support that. We've got the other pull downs, organ systems, and additional. And there's just so many choices that might be appropriate for your client. There on the right, we see the obvious one, that of being pain. Next, we can head over to the body viewer. And this is a panel that we can support our clients head to toe. And we can see in this image that it's focusing on the spine. Next, heading over to Disease Dictionary, there are several support choices depending on your client's needs. There are also custom support apps that are part of paid for trainings. As you can see here, we've got two different search suggestions. We searched pain, and which gave us all those results there on the left. On the right, we searched itis, which is inflammation of. So when you think of, so when we see the different results that come up with itis, and this panel is awesome for support. This is the dental panel. Uh, One of my clients had been having back pain issues for close to 9 months. And during his session with me, I did all my usual things for supporting somebody, and it didn't help. So I had asked him exactly which vertebra were hurting. We found out that they were tied to his four front teeth. We did stress reduction there, and his back pain had went away. So this panel is so cool. Now, staying inside dental, there's also the TMJ panel. I like to call this panel the digital cranial sacral panel, and it can be great and helpful for issues around the skull. Now, also in the dental panel, this is the new premium predefined therapies panel. One of the chronic pains that make our friends' lives so miserable is TMJ pain, and we can support that in this box. We have a free training on using this premium feature. Next, we can head over to what I call the freak panel because its official name is the electrophysiological oscillation freak panel. So this is such shorter. And in the freak panel here on this particular tab, trivector patterns, we can actually focus our support on specific back muscles. It's very nice. Next, this is the homeopathic panel. And some practitioners are also homeopaths, and they love using this panel to support their clients. Now, one great homeopathic we gave our sons growing up was arnica. I know we're talking about chronic pain at the moment, but I wanted to share that. Arnica was great whenever they hurt themselves while they were playing. This is the neuropathy panel. Neuropathy is a sad condition. One of my clients that is a veteran, he had been dealing with neuropathy for a long time. And after each session, he said there was less sizzle. Now we're heading over to the NLP panel. This is the emotional wellness panel. And here are suggestions that will allow us to support our clients' chronic pain issues. We see there in the left column pain. On the right column, we see degeneration. And we also see stem cell therapy. We'll talk more about stem cells later. Heading over to the nutrition panel, there's actually a search box where you can type in chronic pain and train the nutritional choices that show up until max rectification. Now, some practitioners also stock nutrition in their office, and they can send their clients home with the items that are recommended in this panel. Now we're in the risk profile panel, and this is the perverse energy panel that's inside of it. Many of us grew up at a time when there was no Wi-Fi. We had one TV in the house. We had one corded phone in the house. One of my clients started all of a sudden having migraines that would not go away. Her doctors tried everything. Her parents had told her about me, and we figured out in our first session that the day before her migraines began, a smart meter was installed on her side of the bed and outside the bedroom wall. After the session, her migraines were gone. But we can also coach our clients to protect themselves from harmful electromagnetic radiation. SST also sells many EMR related products, so this panel can really kind of help pinpoint where their stress is coming from. Next, this is the short SAR codes panel, where we can support our client head to toe. Here is a chance to support hip pain. One of my clients had dealt with hip pain for years, and we were able to support it, and she didn't have to avoid one of her hips when she slept anymore. It was really nice. This is the spinal panel. Our software is so helpful. As you can see here, it's where it's suggesting spinal support. We can see the C4 in red and L1 in red and sacral in red, but we also see all of thoracic in pink. Now, one of my clients, she takes her synapse report to her chiropractor, and he has confirmed that all the stress suggestions on the report are what he needs to focus on. There are many ways to support the spine here. It's interesting. I'll just share what I used to do. I used to do the test and treat trivector to support the spine. And after one of our tours where we had retired and active chiropractors attending, they kind of pointed out that, Fernando, it's more effective during the neuro-emotional complex for spinal related support. So a very nice panel. Now, staying inside spinal, there's the time therapies panel, and we can support so many areas of our client here. And we can also focus on pain and inflammation while we're working on those, supporting those points. Next, this is the pain panel inside of the spinal panel, and you can focus anywhere on your client here. You can see that my chronic pain results from the main matrix are what's on display here. And that's where we can, if you wanted to, you could focus on that at the moment. Now, this is the sports injury panel that's inside of the sports panel there in spinal. And we can support so many options here, as you see here on the middle and on the left. Now, you'll see we also have another button here for predefined therapies. This is a new premium feature in the software. We can support some really important one here. We see acute pain, chronic nerve-related pain, muscle tension trigger points, regeneration cell membrane stabilization, and scar tissue or connective tissue adhesion. We have a free training on how to use this premium feature. Next, we had talked about this a little earlier. This is the stem cell panel. We have a free training on how to use this panel. One of my clients worked a white collar job, so she had to dress really nice for her work, including wearing heels. After years, her hips were killing her. On top of that, she had to walk to work, and we were able to support her by stimulating her own body stem cells to support her hips, and her pain was gone. She was very excited. Next, this is the time treatments panel, where we can support so many things. We see a couple of options here: start injured tissue treatment and start auto pain treatment. Next, this is universal biofeedback therapy, where we can use the new premium Rife Zap Builder feature for pain relief support of all types. We have a free video on how to use this premium feature. Now, why is this panel so cool? Now, many people for years have been using Rife generating or frequency generating devices. And when you attach to those, it's usually by two handles. With our stress management system, you connect it with more ways than just by the handles. There's the two ankles, the two wrists, and then the 8 points on the forehead, which totals 12. So I think our way of doing Rife related support on a wellness concern is very awesome. Next, staying there in universal biofeedback therapy, we have the scalar auto panel, where we can select an area for pain relief support of all types. One of my clients was dealing with pancreatitis, and we were able to use this panel to help. Next, we have the one-click therapies panel. Now, there's two ways to use this panel. We can see individual items on the left, or we can do a bunch of things on the right, and we have a free training on how to use this panel. Now, this is the premium AFE builder panel, where all the AFE pulses throughout the whole program can be accessed here and used to support our client. And we have a free training on how to use this panel. Now, this is the class portal program. This is a paid for program that works along with the main program, but it can also work separately. And what you're seeing here is the new version. There's so many options head to toe with our clients, and you can see the results here of doing a pain search. Well, that is it for all the panels for chronic pain support. I just wanted to again add that disclaimer that just because our software can offer chronic pain support does not imply or guarantee chronic pain support success. Now, besides the software, SST offers additional support products. Here are a few bioenergy patches that can be used for chronic pain support. We see inflammation disorder, ultra pain plus, ultra joint plus, migraine, nerve stimulation, pain and inflammation. Plus, SST sells many crystals and stones. And here on the right, we see the quantum quattros, which have been found to be chronic pain supportive. One of our members bought one of these stones from me at a training event. The next day, she came up to me and showed me her hands. She's like, look at my hands. I didn't know what I was looking at, except that she actually wasn't wearing her wrist braces that she had worn the whole time I've ever known her. And for the first time, she didn't have them on. What she had done the day before was she had bought one of these stones and placed the stone under her brace. Then after a while, she moved it to the other brace, and then she was able to take her braces off. Results may vary, but that was just a cool story with these stones. Now, SST has provided electromagnetic radiation support products for a very long time. Here are the current options there on the left. Prices are subject to change. And there on the right, we really like the FlexBeam product, and it has been known to help with chronic pain support. FlexBeam has tons of pain-related trainings available, plus other trainings that could be beneficial. Now, for more information about our new and previously owned Q9 and S8 stress management systems, please go to seriouslysmarttechnologies.com/devices.
And in addition to finding more information about our stress management system, we have a section on our website that can assist you in finding a nearby practitioner. The website address is seriouslysmarttechnologies.com/members. And to view what online training is available, you can visit seriouslysmarttechnologies.com/online-training. And to check our events calendar to find out when our next events are, please visit seriouslysmarttechnologies.com/public-events. Now, Fernando, that was some really good information regarding supporting and improving chronic pain with our stress management systems. Thank you very much. And we would be happy to assist any of you who have any additional questions you may have regarding stress management biofeedback. Our email address is info@sstoffice.com, or you can contact us by phone at 989-321-2800. Once again, thank you for joining us, and we hope you have an amazing day. Now we can get into some questions and answers. There's already some questions posted in the chat. The first one, Fernando, can these same panels be used for pain that is not chronic?
Absolutely. With our biofeedback, we can be supportive of acute and something that just kind of happened, like I say, a sports injury or something like that, along with the chronic pain.
Yes, and here's a nice question. If biofeedback doesn't cure, then why did that one panel talk about cures?
That's a really good question. Now, what's really neat with our biofeedback, our stress management systems, is that in many countries, you actually have to be a medical professional to purchase and use it. Here in the United States, and pretty much most, not all of North America, uh, you can be trained and get certified, but you don't have to be a medical professional. However, because of the fact that it is intended more for medical professionals in other countries, they use words that we don't normally get to use here in the United States. You'll see in the software, clients are referred to as patients, and you'll see the word treat. And so that's why.
Yeah, so we always want to make sure that we're speaking as a certified practitioner rather than a medical doctor if we're not a medical doctor. Okay, I've always understood acupoints, acupressure, to be something physical you do to your client manually. How does biofeedback work with acupoints when you're not manually touching those points?
Now that's a really great question. I know with like acupuncture, for those of us that have had it, Ron and I both have. You get needles put into you on certain points, acupoints, and then there's acupressure where someone is hitting that with a fingertip or maybe even with a tool, a hand tool. Now with biofeedback, those points I like to call it you're getting worked. I call it digital acupuncture, acupressure, and it's where you're getting worked on it through the harness. But also with here at SST, we have an accessory called the flexible point probe because some practitioners are actually trained acupuncturists. So while they're using that panel, they could put the point probe on the different points that they're working on. But for those of us that aren't trained how to do that, it's working on it digitally through the harness.
Excellent. What if you suspect or determine that someone's chronic pain is caused by recurring activities, such as their line of work, hobbies, or bad habits? Would you continue to work on it or require them to address the cause before continuing?
So that's a really good question. Now, some of our clients, uh, their their lifestyle or their job environment, they cannot change. For people like that, they're going to need the practitioner to be there as their wellness support team to kind of help them. You know, here in Michigan, we've got the automotive industry, we have farming industry, we have a lot of different things that happen here in the state where people and I know in other states they have different things. So that recurring stress can be the cause of their chronic pain. But when it's something that might be a repetitive thing, then we, as their wellness coach, we can kind of coach them on perhaps finding new ways, smarter ways to carry out their sport, their hobby, their job, uh, to so that they may be able to eliminate the what's the cause of their chronic pain. Now, I know not everyone has a background, but Ron and I actually have a background in ergonomics where we would actually help our customers come up with ergonomic solutions for an issue. And many of us have learned over the years to lift with our knees and have a green zone for lifting and stuff like that. And these are all things that we can remind our clients. So that might be things that to help them uh, make better choices that might be causing their chronic pain issues.
Right. Well answered. If you were a person with autoimmune pain from several autoimmune diseases and loaded with several emotional stressors, um, their body hurts to the touch, what would your main focus be for that person to support their pain?
Well, what's really nice is with biofeedback, we can be very supportive of people that are dealing with autoimmune disorders. It's really unfortunate. The last time I checked was earlier this year, but there's still 151 autoimmune disorders, and it's just terrible. So we can be supportive of that. Uh, what's interesting though is that some people, like you said, they can have several, and then they have all these different emotional things, kind of like that information we went over in the beginning. When people deal with chronic pain for years, how does it affect them mentally and emotionally? And it's the same thing with autoimmune disorders. So the main focus would be we can help support them with biofeedback stress management, and then we can also try to coach them on maybe making some lifestyle changes. It's actually really amazing when people are dealing with chronic pain. They don't want to move. They don't want to get out of bed. They don't want to get off the couch. But one of the things we can coach them on is actually encouraging them to try being a little more active. And they might actually find some of their chronic pain might actually go away just by being a little more active. And then they're like, what else will happen if I'm even a little bit more active? It's really encouraging to see that with our clients.
Yeah. And some activities might be better than others for those people, so trying some different things would help. Well, excellent, Fernando. Good answers. I don't see any other questions that I might have missed, but um, I think that pretty much covers it for today. Thank you for answering those questions. Once again, thank you all for joining us today. We hope that you uh, join us for another webinar in the near future. We're going to have many additional webinars, so please enjoy the rest of your day.